been a while.
A while.
Or socks. Old people socks.
Old people's knees.
Remember when we were young, you used to see the older folks, your parents wearing white socks?
No, they wore black socks with
Mine were white socks, and I used to think, white socks?
black socks with short and up to here, not ankle socks. And then they'd go, "What's on the barbecue?"
And their guts be hanging out. What's happened to us?
Sorry, old people. They're all passed away now.
Well,
everybody that did that in my family is gone.
But we're close. We can see it.
But we're still not wearing big black knee socks.
But we're wearing
shorts.
whites. And your chicken legs are showing.
Well, I'd rather have that than a lot of water on the. You know how your legs swell up?
Yes. Yeah, well, you can always tell. And I always feel sorry for people because their legs
I do
are
too,
like,
yeah.
they look like tree trunks. Or,
Sorry about that. We're not picking on you, just saying.
right, or buffalo wings. Hey, tell the story when you were in the Air Force.
Oh, when I was in the Air Force.
MP K9.
I joined just before Vietnam, just before it cooked. And so they sent me a draft notice, I was already in. I was down in Texas at basic training, and then I was stationed, supposed to go to medical school, medics, to train to be a medic.
Right.
And then Vietnam hit, and they needed policemen more than they did medics,
Right.
at least in the early going. Ooh, that was a bad time. And so they cut my orders for military police school, which was just down the street in San Antonio. And then they shipped me overseas. God knows why, because there wasn't anybody overseas messing with us, because everything was back in the
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, well, Cuba,
Oh, yeah.
the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, that's what the big thing was. Vietnam was still just a dream in a president's eye, I think.
McNamara.
So then I went over there. I got out of school and went over there, and I joined K9 the day I got there, because a friend of mine who'd been in tech school with me came up to me and said, "Webbs, get on K9 because you don't have to work during the day. It's 120 degrees out there in the desert of Libya during the day. So get on K9. You work at night, sleep in the daytime."
But as we said, you got a dog?
I got a dog. I was there 18 months with him. And then I had to rotate back. And
What was the dog's name?
Drix, wonderful dog, took second place in the All Europe obedience school testing.
With you testing him.
Well, because he was trained by somebody else before I got him. He knew some funny lines, but no, he didn't learn any new tricks. So one of the things was the long sit. So you take him on a football field, the end zone, sit, stay, and then you walk away down to the other end zone, 100 yards away. And he's got to stay there and not move.
And
he did. But he lifted his butt about an inch. And then he went back down. And that's what the difference was.
oh my God.
They took away a couple of points for that, or you won the whole thing. Smart dog. So when I rotated, they brought a new handler in and gave him Drix, and he would sit on we called him butt can. It was a red bucket that kept trash in, a white wastebasket. He'd sit on the butt can outside the kennel door because Drix wouldn't let him in. Drix would chew him a new you-know-what. So I just sat there and talked to him. Wouldn't accept food from the guy. I felt so sorry for him. Because when I got him, he was a command dog. In other words, he had a big leather collar. When you put that leather collar on him, that was work. Then he was ready to defend your life and the life of anybody else and kill if necessary. You put the choke chain back on him for training, he was like...
He was conditioned.
Oh, it was, what was it?
Pavlov's
Pavlov.
response.
Pavlov might have trained him. The leather collar meant work. The chain link collar.
So talk about when you're going to the airport to leave.
I'm transferring. It was about a month later.
He's leaving.
I'm leaving. I'm coming back to the States, to Offutt Air Force Base, by the way. And the guy stops at a light, stops at a light right across from the canine thing. And I see Drix in the exercise yard with this guy, and they're doing laps around the exercise.
And the guy's trying to break tricks so he'll listen to his now.
Yeah, he's got a muzzle on him because Drix will bite him if he gets a chance.
So tell him what you did.
So I pulled up, I rolled the window down, and I said, "Drixie!" And Drix goes, "Oh, oh." And I said, "Sorry, Bubs." Rolled the window back up and took him off. I don't think I destroyed any training that he had already accepted.
But you had to get something.
I had to say goodbye to him, and then I was here out of Offord for 2 years, and about a year later they sent me a letter and said Drix had passed away. 11 years old. Good, smart dog. Jesus, Drix makes a third of the people I've ever met in my life look like morons. That's how intelligent he was.
That's not hard. What kind of dog was he? German Shepherd?
German Shepherd, full blood. So Kennedy got assassinated while I was over there on duty.
I was in the second grade, I remember.
I was out in the munitions dump patrolling. God knows why, because nobody ever tried to steal anything from the dump. And they called me on the radio. President Kennedy was assassinated. We're sending out a pickup truck with a couple of regular day cops to help you out there in case anything happens. I said, okay, fine. So I'm sitting there on the butt can outside the deal with Drix, and the pickup truck leaves the base 20 miles away in the desert, and you can see the headlights turn at the east gate to get on the old dirt road to go through the desert. And Drix goes, "Oh." I said, "It's okay, buddy. It's okay." So they get there. The sergeant opens the door, gets out of the pickup truck. "Hey, Weber, are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine, sir." "Hey, that's a good-looking dog. What's his name?" And he reaches out to pet him. And he's still got the leather collar on. And Drix said, "What?" And then he crouched. I knew he was going to jump. And so I reached around and grabbed him by the collar, I thought. But I missed. And he grabbed me and bit me right in the hand. And then he sat there and he said, "Oh, shit, what did I just do?" And he went like this. He had my hand in his mouth. And he looked at her and he goes, and I had a couple of puncture wounds. They had to take me back to the base to get it cleaned. And all the way back, he sat between my legs in the back of the pickup truck, and I'm holding him, right? And he sat there, and he'd look at me, and then he'd look away, and then he'd look at me, and then because he knew what he did. He knew it was the wrong guy to bite. Bite the sergeant if you're going to bite anybody. Don't bite your handler. Anyway, it was.
You know, my wife.
It's a lovely time it really was a good time in my life.
Well, women that I've known, my wife, I say with guys, there's a little bit of dog in all of us. Well, you just proved it. Your faces, I'm telling you, man. You were a man of 1,000 faces.
Well, that's
Lon Chaney. Sorry.
You know, you either learn that when you're young,
right,
or you don't. And if you don't learn that you are what you are, right, who you are, and you never learn it, then it's a whole wasted life.
Yeah, but Dave, it's different for everybody.
Oh, I know it is.
Some kids are less expressive. Some kids are bullied, even today.
Two most important days in your life: the day you're born, and the day you find out why. That's it.
When did you find out?
Very young, at a very young age.
What happened?
I have no memory. I don't know. All of a sudden, and then in the service, and then when I got into radio and singing folk music, I felt very comfortable. And then on TV, I felt, hey.
You thought to yourself, this is where I belong.
This is where I was meant to be. Isn't that funny?
It's true, because I'm still trying to figure it out. And some people never figure it out. Searching, I'm still searching.
Have I talked to you since they let me go?
Yes, but it still hurts him.
It does.
It hurts him, and he
52
misses
years.
it. You miss it.
Oh, I miss it horribly.
Now, and I've asked you this before, do you miss the adulation? Do you miss the regularity of it? Do you miss the work? Do you miss sports? What do you miss?
All of it, but the least thing I miss is the sports. The most thing I miss is the people that I met for 52 years at Channel 6, and the people who still come up to me out at Shirley's when I'm walking tables pouring coffee and put their arm on my shoulder and say, God, I watched you for so many years. You were so funny. You were the funniest person I ever saw on television.
You were real. I've told you.
Real, yeah. And yeah, I miss that all. Well, why do I go to Shirley's? Yeah, to see the people that watched me. They're all
Be
60 and 70.
recognized.
Well, you're if you want to say it that
See,
way,
but
sure.
you and I are different. I didn't get into it. I mean, of course, you and I are people persons, and of course, I like to meet people, and I've got a lot of people that I knew along the way. But I didn't get into it originally for the people. I got into it because I love Jim Thorpe, Jack Dempsey, Chuck Bednarik, Emil Zatopek, Sammy Ball, Don Budge. I mean, I could go on and on.
I love
I
the
love
athletes
Billy
too.
Mills. I love
I love Billy. Him running around the track. Are
Correct.
you kidding me?
But Muhammad Al Cassius Clay. I love sports. I just wanted to talk about sports and everything else.
That Billy Mills video still makes me cry.
Correct.
I start crying every time.
But see, so we look at it differently now. Of course, when I got in, I met some neat people. But as you and I know, in that industry, I met a lot of terrible people. You know, but I didn't. To me, I used to say this. I didn't get in it to be on TV. I got in it to talk about sports. I don't think you got in it to be on TV, but you enjoyed it.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going down to Channel 9 in Chicago when I was 12 years old
You told me that.
And-
Kid show.
and watching a kids show live. I was in school, and that was a school trip. And I said, "Oh, this would be fun to do for a living." Oh man,
And
I didn't say that way, but
But I feel like we're going in circles. It's not over. You're
No,
82.
no.
Just because you're not at Channel 6, you still meet a
well,
lot.
I'm here. I'm here with you.
Yes.
I'm doing commercials
Yes.
for.
You just did a book. Did you finish the book?
I just read a book for Chip Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you finish it? Remember?
yeah. The guy that Cleet did the editing.
Yeah.
Got the bites from sound bites from Chip,
Yeah.
and he's putting the book together. Yeah,
So,
I'm still working,
yes.
but
But what? Tight shot, go.
I don't know. I thought it would end at Channel 6 differently than it did.
Dave, in the end, they use us, we use them.
Well.
That's how I saw the television business. In the end, I used to be the handheld camera guy for the College World Series. Every game, up to 3 years ago. The Big Ten baseball, every game. They used to call me the Iron Man, and I enjoyed it because I enjoyed the people there. I love shooting the cutaways and running around meeting people, being the big stud in the control room, getting the lineups on that. But you know what I realized? You move on. Life goes on. They're still holding the College World Series. They've got different people doing it now. It was a time in my life that I will cherish, but I got to move on. And that's what you have to do, and that's what you've done. But I still think you lurk back to those days a little bit too much. Talk to me, Goose.
I do. I love people when they walk up to me and tell me they watched me. Not because they watched me, but because they remember me.
They could relate to you.
Yes, and they liked me.
David, everybody likes you now. That's what I don't get from you. I'm like, you were much more well known. You made much more whatever than I ever did. And yet I can let it
It's
go.
not enough. It's not
But
enough.
yes.
Yeah, okay. I go. I agree with you.
Come on, it can't be that easy.
It's not like drugs. It's not like alcohol, but it is something that satisfies my soul.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I feel for you. My heart breaks for you. But, if I'd have had half your success, but I had to do it the hard way, and I made a lot of mistakes. I told a news director one night on the phone, New Year's Eve, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, he didn't know what the F he was talking about. Mistake. Got fired 4 days later. So a lot of it, I don't, when you're younger, you look at it and you go, it was them, it was them. But as you get older, you realize things. You get smarter to your ways and you think, God, I made a lot of mistakes. And unlike you, I wasn't that good.
I thought you were good.
No, when I got here, maybe a little bit. I showed a little bit of, but you don't know. So you and I have traveled different paths. What are you doing now? The book's over. You still got Shirley's, to satisfy that urge that you want to get pats on the back.
I got Exarban coming up.
What's that?
Exarban.
Oh, right.
I read the scripts for the shows. And I still got some voiceover work that I do.
Right.
But
you're still Dave Weber.
I'm still disappointed.
Dave.
I'm trying to think of a way to make a statement about that, but we'll see.
Well, that's why we love you, because you're just a real dude and you're being honest. Because a lot of people aren't honest. A lot of people bullshit. Just go on Facebook. You see bullshit all the time.
Oh, you can't trust anything you see.
Yeah, I don't. All right, let's America 250. What'd you do? What'd you do over the weekend? 4th of July. I didn't see you in the hot dog eating contest.
I went out to my wife's sister's house for just to visit for 4th of July. What I did for 2 weeks before the 4th of July was sit in my living room with my dog and my hand on the top of her head trying to calm her down, because we have some people in our neighborhood that blew off firecrackers 2 weeks before the 4th of July. And they blew them off the 5th of July and the 6th of July.
Don't get me started on fireworks.
I don't understand it. If they had been in the service when I was and had heard something like that, they'd have picked up their M1 carbine and gone on alert.
I'm from Baltimore. When I was growing up, in fact, my sister's son posted a picture on social media. His kids holding up a sparkler. That's all we had when I was growing up, a sparkler and a snake. Remember, like those little snakes?
I burnt my finger on the sparkler for crying out loud.
I hate to say it, when I had children, when my wife and I, we went to the tents. We bought a couple of things.
Artillery shells? Artillery shells?
No, I don't think we did that. I'm not sure. But maybe it's an age thing, but now I'm like, you go up the top of 72nd Street in Cornhusker and you look down at Papillion, it's like,
oh, yeah. It's like Disneyland.
I do think of the guys with PTSD. I think of the animals. It's ridiculous. People go nuts. And then you can't even drive down your own street because people are like darting in and out with fireworks. It's like
and smoke you can't see.
Correct. And we've had an air quality problem for 2 days after. So I do think it's getting out of hand. You see the tents going up 2 weeks. You're like, oh, and they're tents next to each other. Buy 6, get 1 free.
What makes people think they have the right?
But we engaged in it. I did when we had kids. When I was, it was you'd walk up. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, my God, let it go.
What have they done? Not saying any people in particular, and I'm not trying. I'm trying.
And there's always that house that gets on fire. People that get hurt.
Blow a finger off.
Yes.
All the time. One of Joey's friends, when he was young, picked up an M80 and blew 3 of his fingers off.
We had a guy, I just got done cutting the grass, down the street, 2 houses down, 2 couples were walking their children across the street, up the road. A minute or two later, I'm out there and I hear this boom. It was an M80. I was like, my God, what's wrong with you people? A little bit later, boom, another M80. Now, I got to be honest. I'm not going to lie. When I was a kid, that was cool. You thought that was a big deal. So I'm sure I participated in doing that kind of stuff when I was a kid and didn't know any better and it was cool and I'm young, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, what's wrong with you people? The guy had his wife and child walking up the street, across the street, and you're dropping M80s in the middle of it. I mean, I just think it's gotten out of hand. And I think sooner or later, even though they have regulations in place, I do think sooner or later, people have got to come to their senses, because I do think it's gotten out of hand. Or are we just old?
Well, that's part of it. But what have these people done to make it a part of their God-given right to blow off firecrackers on America's birthday when they probably haven't done a doggone thing to help support the country? You know what I'm talking about.
But that's okay. I don't. That's our right, David. We've got, people. You served our nation. I didn't. That's our right.
So I
to do what we
sacrificed my part of my life so you could do what you want.
Yeah, I hate
Okay.
to say it, but
I'll
it's true.
buy that. I'll buy that.
And if it means burning a flag, if it means lighting fireworks, we don't have to like it. We're older school baby boomers, so the respect that is not shown these days. I wanted to see on Facebook, is anybody, the old people's, is anybody going to be negative on 4th of July? Let it go. Give it a rest. One day. You know what I mean? And most of them did. But I was like, my God, people, don't you realize that the reason you're allowed to bitch about anybody, that's the freedom that was secured by guys over in the cemeteries over in Normandy and France and everywhere else around the world? Let it go. Show some respect.
The last guy that landed on the beach at D-Day passed away last week. The last guy.
Lead. Don't follow. How many times have I told you that? Too many people follow today. Lead.
That generation's never coming back either. Oh my God. That's because that was a war that we had to fight.
Uh-oh. This just newsflash just in. Dave Weber has been recognized as the...
I think your shower's ready. The last time we sent 1 million guys over to their death to say, and it really did save the world. It really did.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
But this generation, most of them couldn't tell you what June 6th is or December 7th. Now, I could be wrong, but at least the kids that I talk to today, they look at me like Drix. They'd have no idea. But I also say, David, that's okay. It's of this generation. Uh-oh. Hello? Yeah, he's here. Hold on. Yeah, I'll get him for you. Here he is, Dave Weber.
I'll be right with you. Yes, dear. Absolutely.
Sure. Yes, dear.
No, I'll go.
Dino.
JJ, it's my wife.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're on the show, so you got to watch this podcast. Terry Weber. Terry, hi.
Hi,
bye.
Terry.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. So now,
sorry,
what
I
was
apologize.
Terry's reason for calling?
Pick up her prescriptions.
Yeah, well, I do that for my wife. I pick up scripts. We call them scripts.
Yeah. I can't say prescriptions anymore. It is just scripts.
But what I was saying, it's okay. I look at today's generation, and it's okay because they don't have to know. It would be nice. Us old people are all ticked off at them sometimes, but every generation's different. And we bitch about every generation. People bitched about us.
Pick and choose your fights.
Correct.
Yeah. Being a curmudgeon has never been one of my...
Well, I have noticed that as I've gotten older, I've become more of a curmudgeon.
It hasn't ever been one of my motives or goals, to be a curmudgeon. But I'm curmudgeon-y about some stuff.
July 4th.
Well, July 4th and the fact that kids today don't know what their great-grandfathers did in the war. I know there's Korea and Vietnam and all the wars since then.
Forgotten war, Korea.
Yeah, well, talk about silly wars.
Right, and you came in it, when that was still fresh in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
And Vietnam, I think the French had left Vietnam because they couldn't win, so we went in.
But we didn't save the world in any of those.
We did.
But we did in World War II.
I didn't, and I always feel guilty because I never went into the service. So I pay homage to those who did.
Well, then it was a choice.
I remember when I worked at College World Series, they always had a special night for servicemen, and they play a song, and I'd have to go, and I always got this older gentleman because I'd see him every year, and I'd tell him and he would salute, because it makes a good shot, and he had a World War II hat on, and I think of that guy a lot. Now, you know what I think of, David? We've seen the video a million times of Normandy, that one shot of the guys coming onto the beach, and the one guy drops, and I always wonder, who was that guy? I'd love to know who that person was. But yeah,
isn't that funny? We would remember the same shot.
Yeah, we've seen it a million times. But yeah, it's a different time, Dave.
And you can tell by the way he fell that he's dead.
Right. Oh yeah, it's a different time. So I don't hold a grudge against today's generation.
Oh, I don't either.
In fact, they teach me a lot, but I also wish that but it's different. Every generation.
It doesn't do you any good.
No.
It doesn't help you.
Right, and we're the old guys bitching and moaning about life all the time. We're the two Muppet characters sitting up in the balcony.
Just because something isn't against the law doesn't mean it's okay. Motorized scooters.
Correct.
In the park
All
across
right.
the street. No, it's wrong.
In Wall-E, in the animated Disney film Wall-E, where do people end up? What's the ship called? They're all heavy set, and they don't.
Oh, yeah.
The Axiom.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, we're headed for the Axiom. I see kids on bikes now that have motors. I'm like, wait a minute.
Electric scooters.
I'm like, wait a minute. We're all headed for it's too easy today.
You know what I saw? I saw an 8-year-old on an electric scooter with a 4-year-old in their lap. And neither one of them had helmets on, I know. But it's like life preservers
but
on a boat.
in the old days, we never wore helmets, but I'm not saying it's wrong. It was right. But
we had a lot of guys walking around like that, though.
Maybe in your neighborhood.
Because they fell and hit themselves on the cement.
That.
No?
I just remember. But so there's certain things that I'm like, good. It's a good thing. But there are other things. But I think we can say that about any time.
Oh, yeah. Every part of our history has had good and bad things to remember about.
Right.
Hey, we've gone through a whole half hour already.
He actually can see the clock. It says 42 seconds. We got 42 seconds. We have to continue this conversation in our next episode because I
hope people don't think we're complaining.
No, we're from a different time.
We're just barking. We're just a dog barking out the window.
We're Drix.
I would settle to be Drix. I would. I said to my wife today, someday, if you ever come back, I'd love to come back as a dog.
That conversation.
A border collie.
For another show. We'll border on that conversation on our next show. Thanks for joining us for Life Lessons. Dave and JJ, the legend and the journeyman. See you next time.